Did you know that some interpretations of Nostradamus's writings point to 2026 as a year of balance, prosperity, and transformation for those born under the sign of Libra? If you were born between September 22 and October 22, this message is for you. According to these symbolic interpretations, 2026 will not be just another year. It may represent the end of a long cycle of imbalance and the beginning of a period in which love, finances, professional success, and personal well-being finally begin to align. Nostradamus used symbols, metaphors, and coded language to describe possible future events. Among these symbols, the scales appear as an image of justice, harmony, and restoration, the same qualities associated with Libra. One passage speaks of scales that swing between extremes for years before finally finding their perfect center. For Libra, this represents the great balance, a time when situations that have remained unfair or unequal may finally begin to change. Perhaps you have spent years giving more than you received. You may have worked hard without receiving proper recognition, supported people who were not present when you needed help, or remained in relationships where you carried most of the emotional responsibility. In 2026, this pattern may come to an end. However, these predictions should not be understood as an unchangeable destiny. Nostradamus often described possibilities rather than fixed outcomes. The opportunities may appear, but you will need to recognize your value, establish healthy boundaries, and allow yourself to receive without feeling guilty. If this message resonates with you, declare, "I am a Libra, and I accept balance and abundance in 2026. This affirmation represents your willingness to leave old patterns behind and begin a more harmonious chapter. The first major transformation predicted for Libra concerns the end of disproportionate sacrifice. For years, you may have been the person who always apologized first, avoided arguments, and gave in to preserve peace. At work, you may have provided excellent results while receiving inadequate compensation. In your family, you may have been the person everyone turned to, even though few offered the same support. In return, the symbol of the balanced scales suggests that these dynamics will become impossible to ignore. In 2026, situations will arise that reveal where reciprocity exists and where it does not. You will be encouraged to stop carrying responsibilities that should be shared with others. This does not mean becoming cold or selfish. It means understanding that genuine harmony requires fairness. A relationship in which only one person sacrifices is not balanced. Even if there are no visible arguments, Libra is ruled by Venus, the planet traditionally associated with love, beauty, relationships, and attraction. Certain astrological interpretations indicate that the energy of Venus will be especially important for Libra during 2026. This may strengthen your personal magnetism, creativity, and ability to attract opportunities. But the most significant changes could occur in your romantic life. For single Libras, 2026 may bring the opportunity to meet someone who is truly capable of offering equal affection and commitment. Instead of attracting people who only need your calming energy, you may connect with someone who has already completed much of their own emotional healing. This person may value harmony, loyalty, culture, and beauty in ways similar to you. The relationship will not require you to abandon your needs just to keep the other person satisfied. The most promising encounters may happen in places connected with art, music, culture, nature, or refined social experiences. This could include concerts, exhibitions, celebrations, professional events, gardens, or even carefully selected online communities. Nevertheless, there is an important warning. Libra sometimes creates such a detailed image of perfect love that a genuine connection can be rejected simply because it arrives differently from what was expected. Maintain your essential standards, but do not confuse healthy standards with unrealistic perfection. The right person may not look or behave exactly as you imagined. What matters is whether the relationship contains respect, consistency, emotional maturity, and genuine reciprocity. For Libras already in relationships, the beginning of 2026 may bring what could be called a great test of balance. Situations may reveal whether both partners are equally committed or whether one person has been carrying the relationship alone. If both are willing to communicate, adjust their behavior, and share responsibilities, the relationship can become considerably stronger. However, if the other person refuses to contribute or continues taking advantage of your accommodating nature, the connection may naturally come to an end. This ending should not be viewed as a punishment. It may be the necessary opening for a healthier chapter. The period between May and October could be favorable for formal commitments, marriage, reconciliation, or the renewal of promises. Couples who successfully restore balance may reach a deeper level of intimacy and mutual trust. Family relationships will also require new boundaries. If you have always been the peacemaker, the one who remains silent, accepts inappropriate behavior, or absorbs everyone else's problems, 2026 may teach you that peace without truth is only a temporary illusion. You can be kind without accepting disrespect. You can love your family without solving every problem for them. True harmony is created when everyone respects the same limits. Financial abundance is another important theme for Libra in 2026. According to the symbolic prediction, Libra's sense of justice, diplomacy, and beauty could become a valuable source of income. Your greatest professional advantage may not be aggressive competition, but your ability to understand different perspectives and create order where there is conflict. Professions connected with mediation: law, human resources, consulting, design, photography, fashion, decoration, public relations, event planning, art, beauty, and communication may be especially favorable. If you currently work in an environment that does not value your natural abilities, new opportunities could encourage you to change direction. You may be invited into a position where your diplomacy, creativity, or aesthetic sense is recognized and properly rewarded. Some Libras have been using valuable abilities without realizing their financial potential. Perhaps you regularly help people organize events, improve their appearance, decorate spaces, create visual content, or resolve disagreements, often without charging for it. In 2026, you may discover that what you considered a hobby or a simple favor can become a professional service. The gold may already exist within something you have been doing naturally for years. The months of March, June, September, and December may be particularly important for negotiations, business launches, salary discussions, and financial decisions. However, prosperity will require decisiveness. One of Libra's greatest challenges is seeing so many possibilities that choosing one becomes difficult. You may spend so much time comparing options that the opportunity disappears. Remember, refusing to decide is still a decision. You do not need absolute certainty before taking action. Examine the available information, listen to your intuition, and choose the path that best reflects your values. Another warning concerns fair compensation. Your desire to avoid disagreement may lead you to accept less money than your work deserves. In 2026, you must learn that asking for fair payment is not selfish and does not create unnecessary conflict. It establishes balance. Negotiate with grace, but remain firm. Ask for the salary, promotion, or price that corresponds to the value you provide. If someone becomes offended simply because you requested fairness, the relationship may never have been as balanced as it appeared. Business partnerships can also bring positive results, especially when responsibilities, investments, and profits are divided clearly. Libra works well in collaboration, but you must avoid agreements in which you do most of the work, while others receive the greatest benefits. Put important agreements in writing. Define every person's responsibilities before beginning. Harmony is easier to maintain when expectations are clear. Professionally, 2026 may also bring recognition after years of being overlooked. Your invisible contributions, calming tensions, improving environments, connecting people, and solving problems diplomatically may finally become visible to colleagues and leaders. You could be promoted, invited to coordinate a team, or placed in a position that requires fairness and emotional intelligence. Your leadership style does not need to be aggressive. Libra leads most effectively through cooperation, dialogue, and respect. Nevertheless, do not expect everyone to automatically notice your achievements. You must learn to communicate your value, keep a record of your results, speak confidently about your contributions, and stop minimizing your accomplishments. There is nothing arrogant about honestly acknowledging what you have achieved. On a spiritual level, the greatest lesson of 2026 may be learning to create balance within yourself. Many Libras attempt to create peaceful environments while ignoring their own emotional exhaustion. They appear calm externally, but experience indecision, resentment, or anxiety internally. True balance does not come from controlling every external circumstance. It comes from finding a stable center that remains present even when life is uncertain. Practices such as meditation, prayer, walking in nature, yoga, journaling, and spending time in beautiful and peaceful environments may help you reconnect with that center. You may also feel called to understand your life as a form of service. Every time you resolve a conflict fairly, create beauty, or defend someone who has been treated unjustly, you contribute to greater harmony. But serving others does not mean abandoning yourself. One of your most important spiritual lessons will be to stop depending on external validation. Your value does not increase when people praise you, nor does it disappear when they fail to recognize you. Your worth is inherent. To make the most of 2026, begin by establishing healthy boundaries. When someone asks something of you, do not answer automatically. Say, "I need some time to think about it." This simple pause will help you determine whether you genuinely want to say yes or are only afraid of disappointing someone. Next, practice making small decisions without consulting everyone around you. Trust your judgment in simple matters, then gradually apply that confidence to larger choices. You should also intentionally create more beauty in your daily environment. This does not require spending large amounts of money. Organize your space, remove unnecessary objects, add plants or flowers, display meaningful art, and create a place that brings you peace. The equinoxes and solstices may be useful symbolic moments for reflection. Around March 20th, examine what is out of balance. Around June 21st, evaluate your progress. On September 23rd, when the Sun enters Libra, establish your most important intentions. Around December 21st, reflect on what must be adjusted before the new year. Above all, avoid 3 mistakes: allowing indecision to paralyze you, sacrificing your needs to maintain superficial peace, and remaining silent when fairness requires you to speak. Conflict handled with maturity can create more harmony than years of avoiding difficult conversations. Remember that these interpretations represent possibilities, not guarantees. The real power of the message lies in how you use it. For Libra, 2026 may become a year of greater love, financial progress, professional recognition, and inner peace. But you must participate in that transformation. Establish boundaries, make decisions, recognize the value of your abilities, accept relationships based on reciprocity. Ask for fair compensation and allow yourself to receive with the same openness with which you have always given. The scales may finally be moving toward balance, but you must be willing to release everything that kept them unequal. This is your moment to move forward with grace, clarity, and confidence. You do not need to fight against your true nature. You only need to stop using your gifts exclusively for the benefit of others. Create harmony for yourself as well. Libra, 2026 may be the year when you finally receive in proportion to everything you have offered. Accept the opportunities, honor your value, and claim the balanced life you deserve.